Long, pale, and crawling in the dark. No, I'm not talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm talking about crawlers. These eerie humanoid creatures have been whispered about on forums and campfires and even caught on video. They've been spotted slinking through forests, creeping along highways, and in some cases, right outside of people's homes. But what are they? Are they paranormal predators, aliens, government experiments gone wrong, max-level crackheads, or are crawlers just another modern urban legend that spread like wildfire thanks to the internet? This week, we're going to illuminate the shadows and get into everything crawler, what they are, the scariest sightings, theories about where they come from, possible explanations, and even their strange place in pop culture. So, let's get into it. Crawlers are typically described the same way. Pale, almost chalk-white skin, disturbingly thin with long spindly limbs, sometimes with long claws, large dark or sometimes glowing eyes, and most importantly, they move in unnatural ways. Many describe them as humanoid, but just off. Like the uncanny valley version of a person, your brain wants to convince you by telling you that the thing before you is human, while your gut screams that it's time to run. They're typically seen at night, lurking on forest edges, climbing around abandoned houses, or darting across rural highways. Witnesses claim that they're eerily quiet, though a few stories describe a bone-chilling scream. It's almost as if Slender Man had a weird little cousin who crawled instead of stood tall, without the great suit, of course. It seems like Pennsylvania, of all places, is crawling with, well, crawlers. In 2014, near Shamokin, a family was driving late at night when their headlights swept across something they'll never forget. Standing in the middle of the road was a gaunt, bone-white figure, too thin to be human, too tall to be a deer. As the lights hit it, the thing dropped to all fours and skittered into the woods with an unnatural, insect-like gait. Other Pennsylvanians shared similar encounters. In Bristol, PA, two friends posted on Reddit that they saw a pale, long-limbed figure running on all fours through the trees towards a lake, described as nearly 8 feet tall if it was standing. At night, in the Pocono Mountains near Dingman Ferry, hikers reported a pale humanoid slinking near the falls. And in Erie County in 2020, a woman walking her dog claimed she locked eyes with a crawler crouched in her yard before it bolted back into the dark. Pennsylvania is already a hotspot for very strange activity. We have Bigfoot, UFOs, and even unexplained deaths like Todd C's. Add crawlers to the list and it seems like the Appalachian Shadows are hiding more than just deer. In Michigan, June 2008, 2 men were injured and one reportedly lost their life in what officials labeled a bear attack. But whispers online tell a different story, that pale crawler-like beings were involved and that there was even video evidence. The issue? Allegedly, the footage disappeared, so officially it was a bear. Unofficially, though, crawler attack cover-up. Believe whichever version helps you sleep better at night. Now, fast forward to 2013. A park ranger in upstate New York claimed to have captured video of a crawler while on night patrol. According to him, authorities quickly confiscated the footage, saying his credibility was questionable. Did he really film a crawler, or was he just trying to spice up his life as a ranger? Either way, the missing tape only adds fuel to the legend. In 2018, hunters deep in the Canadian wilderness reported a pale humanoid figure moving unnaturally fast between the trees. Out there, miles away from civilization, it clearly wasn't just a prankster in a Halloween mask. Unfortunately, no video exists. Just a shaken testimony, but it's another eerie entry in the growing file of crawler encounters. So, where do crawlers come from? That's probably one of the biggest questions both believers and skeptics ask. One theory says that they're subterranean beings, creatures that evolved in caves or deep underground. Their pale, hairless skin and oversized eyes look like adaptations for life away from sunlight. And in places like Pennsylvania, riddled with abandoned coal mines and cave systems, the idea of something living down there really isn't that far-fetched. Another idea? Aliens. Crawlers share the same spindly build and strange movements often reported in extraterrestrial encounters. Maybe they're scouts, or maybe failed hybrid experiments meant to blend in with humans but not quite finished. Then there's the interdimensional theory. Sightings often describe them as vanishing instantly or moving faster than what seems possible. Could they be slipping between realities, only partially tethered to our world? And finally, the paranormal angle. Some connect crawlers to hauntings, demons, or revenants, their corpse-like appearance and inhuman movements echoing classic horror archetypes. Whether you see them as underground dwellers, alien visitors, or something ghostly, the fact that people around the world are describing nearly identical beings is what makes the crawler legend so chilling. Of course, not everyone buys into the theories. There are more grounded explanations as well. Sick or mangy animals such as bear, deer, or coyotes suffering from the disease or malnutrition can look frighteningly thin and pale, especially under night vision cameras. Humans in distress. Sadly, there have been real cases of people under the influence or suffering from mental illnesses wandering at night and being mistaken for monsters. Low-resolution, infrared light and shadows can warp shapes into something monstrous. Your brain fills in the gaps with the scariest option, just like in this famous video of an alleged crawler. Now, it could be a monster, or it could be something as simple as a dog. You just can't tell. The Rake Effect. Back in the mid-2000s, a creepypasta monster called the Rake went viral. It's described as a pale humanoid creature crawling in the dark. Many believe crawlers are essentially the Rake, leaking into real life as the internet bleeds into folklore. Could it be that crawlers aren't creatures at all? Just our fears projected into the dark? Real or not, crawlers have absolutely, crawled into pop culture. Okay, I'll stop. That was the last one. They've even shown up in video games, from pale skittering humanoids in Resident Evil to ghoulish figures in Fallout. The most famous alleged photo of a real crawler has been under debate about its authenticity. Many believe it was created as a promotional for the game Resistance. However, apparently the developers themselves have stated that in fact was not true. This photo has yet to be truly debunked. Even popular movies such as The Descent presents its own take on the crawler legend. In the movie, they are hyper-aggressive, cave-dwelling humanoids. Internet horror adopted them quickly and blended with the Rake and Slenderman myths. And thanks to meme forums and YouTube deep dive, crawlers now stand in the Cryptid Hall of Fame alongside Mothman and Bigfoot. Now, they might terrify you, or they might make you laugh, but crawlers aren't going anywhere. So, are crawlers real? Maybe, maybe not. They could be aliens, cryptids, or just hungry raccoons or bears that desperately need a snack and some sunscreen. But what makes them so fascinating isn't the shaky evidence, it's how they embody our fear of the uncanny, something that looks almost human, but isn't. Something that crawls just outside the safety of the firelight. They claim the internet gave birth to the legend. However, people all over the world are definitely seeing something strange. So every time a new sighting pops up, the crawler creeps a little deeper into our collective nightmares. So, next time you're out in the woods at night and you hear a branch snap, be careful, because there might just be a pale shape crouched, watching, waiting, and crawling towards you. Thanks for watching Paranormish. If you enjoyed this deep dive into creepy crawlers, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, so the only thing crawling into your life is more weird content.